and paid for it.
The runner goes. The pitch is swung on and lined, knocked down by the shortstop. And the ball falls to the grass. Neto has no play. 2 on, 2 outs for Goldschmidt. As we pause for a station ID on the Cardinals Network powered by Graybar.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Neto jumped, got the ball in the palm of the glove, but when he brought the glove down, the ball fell to the grass, and Nootbaar picks up his 4th hit. Goldschmidt takes a ball outside from Tucker Davidson, and for the long ball here. The last time up, with 2 outs in the 6th inning, Goldschmidt doubled to right center, his 12th double of the year, and he drove in 2. Good speed on the bases, the pitch. A swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike.
No right-hander ready for Paul Goldschmidt. That's interesting in this spot, and I understand it's a 4-run game still, but in the 8th inning, Goldie, a chance to hurt you.
Matt Moore, a lefty, is warming in the pen for the Angels. Davidson, a lefty, is on the mound right now. He deals. Goldschmidt hits a ground ball up the middle of the infield, backhanded by the second baseman, who makes a great play. Rengifo throws out Goldschmidt to end the inning, leaving 2 on. We go to the 9th, 11-7 Angels.
This is Cardinals broadcaster John Rooney. From the first trip your 16-year-old takes to a ball game to the last time you help your dad get tickets behind home plate, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is here for all of life's wins, like when you get a new car or a new home or that boat you've worked for all these years, or when your daughter moves out but your mom moves in. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
Papa John's right now is all like the new Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla at Papa John's. It's Papa John's and Doritos Cool Ranch in one cheesy flatbread style sandwich. And it's the best idea ever. But actually, I invented the Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla. I was hanging at the Papa John's test kitchen and remembered my emergency bag of Doritos I always keep on me. And that's when it hit me. Doritos and Papa John's together. So try the new Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla that I invented. Only at Papa John's.
Is your check engine light on? Let our professional parts people scan and diagnose the problem for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A go-ahead home run is a game changer. Another game changer is your support of Cardinal Glennon. I know because my life was saved there. Please make your pledge for patience today at homersforhealth.org. Presented by Heartland Coca-Cola and Chick-fil-A.
Nearly 1 in 5 Americans suffer from a mental illness. Let's reduce the stigma and increase the chance for treatment or intervention. Join the Cardinals on Tuesday, May 16th as we celebrate Mental Health Awareness Night presented by NAMI St. Louis. Fans purchasing a special theme ticket will receive a Cardinals Mental Health Awareness cap, and NAMI St. Louis will receive a portion of each ticket sold. That's Tuesday, May 16th, Mental Health Awareness Night at Busch Stadium. For tickets, visit cardinals.com/theme.
Breaking ball is swung on and missed by Taylor Ward. He leads off the 9th inning for the Angels. And Los Angeles has an 11-7 lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. Ward with 2 hits, a sacrifice fly. He's grounded into a double play. The 1-strike pitch. Grounded to third, past Motter and down the left field line. That's going to go for 2 for Taylor Ward, leading off the 9th inning.
Boy, he's had a nice series. Speaking of nice series, Luis Rengifo, who's had a terrific day at the plate, just made a really nice play to end that last inning off of Paul Goldschmidt. A ball that was hit up the middle, and he was behind the second base bag, moving away through behind his body, and was able to get Goldie at first. It was really a big-time play.
Here is Matt Thaiss, left-handed batting catcher, who checks his swing and takes a strike, a slider over at the knees.
And Rengifo is a triple away from the cycle, and he is in the on-deck circle.
Ward off to a lead at second. Tommy Edman plays behind him. There's a swing and a high fly ball, left center field. O'Neill calls and makes the catch. Nice with a fly out. He's 3 out of 5 today. Not bad for your backup catcher. Now Rengifo, home run, single, sacrifice fly, double. A perfect day at the plate with 4 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. And Ricky just told you, a triple shy of the cycle. 1 out with Ward on second base. Motter, Arenado, Contreras are scheduled up in the bottom of the 9th. A swing and a miss. Sinking fastball at 93, dropping out of sight. A switch batting infielder, Rengifo, bats left-handed against Drew Verhagen. Verhagen's next pitch, outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lawmeyer Sculpture Park, an open-air museum, combines large-scale art and nature like no other. Hike the trails and be awed by the art within the park. For a most unique walk, visit ExploreSt.Louis.com. The 1-1. A strike with a slider over the corner, coming through the back door, 1-2. Verhagen taking in the signs by way of pitch comm from Wilson Contreras. Now they get together. From the stretch, the 1-2 pitch to Rengifo. And he is called out on strikes on an outside pitch. Or excuse me, strike 2 on the outside pitch.
Isn't that
he's
3?
out.
I thought that was 3.
He walked across the plate, then came back, and I thought I had the count wrong.
No, you were right.
No, he got the ring up. The first strikeout for Verhagen on a 96-mile-an-hour pitch that was outside, and Rengifo pointing, that's outside. Boy, a strike zone that's here, there, and everywhere today for Hunter Wendelstedt.
Yeah, he's had a bad day.
Here's Brett Phillips. Runner at second, 2 outs. Phillips swings and misses a hard breaking ball. The slider down and in. An RBI single for Phillips in the 3rd. That's his only hit of the season so far. He has 11 at bats. There's a swing and a ground ball to Donovan, the second baseman, who throws out Phillips. A do or die, bottom of the 9th coming up for the Cardinals. It's the Angels 11, the Cardinals 7.
Honey, have you started your college checklist yet?
Yes, Mom. Affordable, lots of majors, and a real campus experience.
You know, there's a school in St. Louis that has everything you're looking for.
Really? Which one?
Lindenwood University. It's the most affordable private university in the region. And with 100 majors and over 50 clubs and organizations, you will belong. And now they're a Division I school.
Rethink what you think about Lindenwood University. Apply now at lindenwood.edu.
At Bayer, we know that you can start small and still reach big dreams. That we create innovations down the road by nurturing the future today. That rural communities aren't just farms, but all the people they feed. That's why Bayer partners with farmers to protect those ideas. Because together, we're tending tomorrow's harvest.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save on the brands you trust. Right now, buy a DeWalt 9-gallon corded shop vacuum with accessories at a new low price of $99. Plus, as an MVPs member, earn 3 bonus points per dollar when you buy select concrete mix. You can then redeem for rewards. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Valid through 5/17. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 6/2. Subject to change.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Tucker Davidson worked 1 inning. He gave up 2 Cardinals hits, but left 2 runners on. He had a strikeout. And will give way to left-hander Matt Moore. The Cardinals are batting in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they're trailing the Angels 11-7. The Cardinals have been out hit today 16-10. Good old-fashioned American League game indeed. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and
much more.
Download the MLB Ballpark app. You can do so right now.
Matt Moore had an inning, and he had 3 strikeouts in Game 1 of this series.
Taylor Motter leads off and takes a ball inside. Motter, pinch hitting for Nolan Gorman, popped out to the shortstop in the 8th inning. He left Goldschmidt at second base. Motter wearing the white batting gloves. The 1-0. Way outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Motter, Arenado, Contreras. The pitch by Moore. Jammed him, and the ball's popped up foul, going over the screen.
Not the best of swings there for Motter. A 2-0 pitch that was about 4 inches inside.
Yeah, it would have been ball 3.
Certainly would have been ball 3. The Cardinals just need base runners right now.
The starter, Griffin Canning, is the pitcher of record on the upside. Jack Flaherty on the downside. Loop, Davinsky, Davidson, now Moore in the 9th inning, pitching today for Los Angeles. The 2-1 hit hard and foul down the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Say that about Motter, but he hasn't had very many at-bats lately. Not a lot of live at-bats. Of course, he's just trying to contribute. The reality is this is a hard game. We know it's a hard game, but lately it's been even harder.
Matt Moore, 33 years old, from Moriarty, New Mexico. He has the sign he wants. 2-2 on Motter, leading off the 9th. Motter fouls that one back to the screen. Moore came up to the big leagues with Tampa Bay. Pitched with Tampa Bay and San Francisco in 2016. Moved on to Texas in 18, Detroit, Philadelphia. Back to Texas last year, 63 games, 5-2 with a 1.95 ERA. Motter chops it foul down the left field line. It's still 2-2 on Motter, who came on as a pinch hitter and stayed in to play third base. 1-1 this year, a 1.17 ERA. Game 15 for Matt Moore.
Cardinals bullpen, 6 innings of work beginning in the 4th inning and only 1 unearned run. So they've given the team at least a chance here in the bottom of the 9th.
Here's a ball that's popped into short left field. On comes Ward. He's there and makes the catch. 1 out in the 9th. But Woodford gave up 3 inherited runners.
Yes, he did.
When he took over for Jack Flaherty. Those runs were charged to Jack, giving him a total of 10 earned runs today. 1 out for Nolan Arenado. Arenado is hitless in 3 official at-bats. He walked and scored in the 1st inning. The Cardinals had a 2-0 lead going to the 2nd. But the Angels put up 4, then 6 in the 3rd. The ball high here to Arenado. They scored the unearned run then. The next time up in the 4th inning. Moore to Arenado. And he gets under one, popping it into short center field. Long run in for Phillips, and he's calling and fighting the sun and makes the catch. He was arguing with Luis Rengifo. Who's going to take it? I'll take it. No, you take it.
No, I think they were saying you take it, and they were saying, no, you take it. I don't want it.
May have been a little bit of all of that. But it was caught by the center fielder for the 2nd out. And here's Contreras with the Cardinals down to their last out. The pitch to Wilson in the dirt. Contreras at the plate today. 2 doubles, a run scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk. 2 out of 3. Moore with the pitch. Check swing and a strike call. Contreras looks at the plate. That was just off the corner, but called a strike. 1-1 the count with 2 gone in the Cardinals' 9th inning. The pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Neto gloves and throws out Contreras, and this ballgame has come to an end. And the Cardinals have dropped 6 in a row, losing 3 at LA to the Dodgers, and then 3 at home to the LA Angels. The final today, 11-7 Angels. Ricky and I will talk about it after this.
Ready for an exciting change? At Merle Norman, we can take your look from ordinary to extraordinary in a matter of minutes. Our innovative skincare, perfectly matched foundations, and on-trend colors will make a difference that's written all over your face. Come in and see what a makeover can do. We'll help select the products that are just right for you, and we'll teach you tips that the pros know about applying your most flattering shades. Ask for your free express makeover today, calling 217-359-8100 or visit 706 West Market View Drive in Champaign.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
It's time for the annual Cardinal Bus Trip. Hi, it's Stevie J, inviting you to take a trip with us to St. Louis, Missouri for the day. It's July 19th. The Cardinals will be taking on the Miami Marlins, and every seat is in the suite. Yes, we'll have our private suite for Stevie J listeners and Cardinal fans. It's only $225. That includes your bus trip, of course, there and back, all the food and drink you would like, and positioned perfectly in bus parking. Walk in, up the ramp. 207 is the name of our suite. Number 207 along the first base line. Again, July 19th, it's the Cardinal-Miami game in St. Louis, Missouri. The game starts after 1 o'clock. We'll leave at 8 in the morning and be back hopefully by about 6. If you're interested in this year's trip, text in BUS 217-359-2255 for all of the information. That's 217-359-2255. Text in BUS.
The Angels scored 4 times in the second to take a 4-2 lead today. 6 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth, and beat the Cardinals 11-7. 11 runs on 16 hits, no errors, 7 left on for the Angels, who went 8 for 15 with runners in scoring position. The Cardinals made 7 runs on 10 hits, 1 error, 7 left on, 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Griffin Canning went the first 5, and he gave up 5 runs but picks up his second win, 2-0. Jack Flaherty was tagged with 10 earned runs over 2 1/3 innings, getting the pitch count up to 74. He falls to 2-4 with the loss. A 2-hour, 58-minute game, 40,508 the paid attendance. The Angels swept the series. They've won 4 straight games. Their record is 18-14. The Cardinals have lost 6 in a row, and they stand at 10-22. And our play of the game is presented by Marriott St. Louis Grand. Book your Grand Slam Cardinals ticket package. You can do so right now. And we'll have that play when we come back.
If you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or van, look no further than Sarah Champagne. You know them for their 5 incredible vehicle brands, the BMW, Honda, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. But did you know they also have over 100 used cars, trucks, and vans in stock right now? And at Sarah Champagne, they will take care of you. You can trust them. And prices begin at under $2,000. Stop by Sarah Champagne. They're Burwash and Savoy, or go online, sarahchampagne.com. That's Sarah, SERRA, champagne.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Racing has a full show of late models, modifieds, and street stocks battling it out for the big prize money on Dirt Car Racing's Track of the Year. Sponsors like Illini Overhead Door help make your Friday Night Lights racing experience terrific. Get pit passes now with discounts for veterans and young fans under 12. Visit FarmerCityRacing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Angels put up a 0 in the first inning, and then the Cardinals, with 2 outs, got 2 runs in the bottom of the first as Nootbaar singled, was out on a force out. Arenado walked with 2 down, and Wilson Contreras hit a double to right field, driving in 2. 2-0 Cardinals. But the Angels had a very fast answer against Jack Flaherty. Rendon led off with a single up the middle. After Jake Lamb struck out, Taylor Ward got a base hit. Then Matt Thaiss. He was able to drive in a run with a base hit. That made it 2-1. And here is the play of the game with the 8th place hitter at the plate. And this turned the day around for the Angels. The play of the game presented by Marriott St. Louis Grand. Now the pitch. A high fly ball, deep right field toward the corner, and that ball is gone. A 3-run homer by Luis Rengifo. Not only did the Angels erase the 2-0 lead, but now they have a 2-run lead. Now at that point it was 4-2, and they didn't trail the rest of the day, and then they just singled Jack Flaherty right out of the ball game. They had 6 runs on 7 hits, batting around +2, a walk, a sacrifice fly figured in the inning, and Hunter Renfroe singled and scored a run, made 2 of the outs on a double play ball that ended the inning with reliever Jake Woodford on the mound. By that point, it was a 10-2 game, then an unearned run scored the 4th inning to make it 11-2. The Cardinals had a little fight in them with a 3-run homer in the 4th inning by Tommy Edman and a 2-run double by Paul Goldschmidt in the 6th inning. But the rest of the game, the Cardinals only had 2 base runners, singles by Edman and Nootbaar, coming with 2 outs in the 8th, and Goldschmidt grounded out to the second baseman Rengifo, who made a great play on the third base side of second to keep the Cardinals from getting another batter deep in the 8th inning. 11-7 the final, the Angels over the Cardinals. Detroit has won 3 in a row, beating the Mets all 3 games, and the Tigers will be here tomorrow night to open a 3-game series. Lefty Matthew Boyd 1-2 against Cardinal left-hander Jordan Montgomery 2-4. The pregame show starts at 6:20. Mike Claiborne will have the lineups for you around 7:05. Ricky Horton will bring you the first pitch around 7:15, and I'll be back with you for the Saturday game. We play Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday against the Detroit Tigers. Make your ticket plans to join us at Cardinals.com. Today, the Angels won 11-7 over the Redbirds. We say thanks to our producer-engineer, Jim Jackson. To Tanner Rosen and Matt Pajeski in the St. Louis studio. Pat Pauly will be hosting our post-game show. Ethan Hannaford is our in-booth assistant. Now for Mike Claiborne and Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. So long from Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of Major League Baseball. Crack open the game with Budweiser and enjoy unrivaled flavor and refreshment. By your quality Ford dealers, the official vehicles of the St. Louis Cardinals. By Schnucks. Earn 2% back on every purchase with the Schnucks Rewards app. By Shelter Insurance. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com to help choose the coverage that works for your auto, home, and life insurance. By Explore St. Louis. Learn all about the great things to do in St. Louis. Visit ExploreSt.Louis.com. By Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. By the Painting and Decorating Foundation. And by Sonic Drive-In. Sonic. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
An 11-7 loss for the Cardinals today. We do welcome you into the Mercy Cardinals postgame show. My name's Matt Pauly. We're running out of words on what to say about this team as the struggles are they're not just continuing. It seems to be going very much in a wrong direction. The Cardinals, after having a serious gut punch loss last night, thought maybe that would be the thing that they would be able to respond to. They get out to an early 2-0 lead today, but then the Angels score 10 runs between the second and third innings, and that puts the Angels in position for an 11-7 win. The Cardinals make a little bit of noise late, scoring 3 in the fourth and 2 in the sixth to make the score look a little bit more respectable, but you don't get points for that, and the Cardinals end up losing today 11-7. We've got a lot coming up on this edition of the Mercy Cardinals postgame show. We'll go back through the game with the highlights. We'll also hear the postgame comments of manager Oliver Marmol. That's all on the way next. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
There's a certain magic here in Cardinals Nation. Can you feel it? Central Bank is the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Sign up for Cardinals checking with Central Bank and get a 2013 League Champions jersey and 2 game tickets. See bank for details. Member FDIC.
Looking to eat healthier and buy locally? Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois has been expanding their yak herd for nearly 2 years, offering local farm-to-table meat containing absolutely no antibiotics, no hormones, or steroids. Savannah Ridge Farms is raising 100% all-natural yaks that feed on organic grass and hay in chemical-free open land. Yak meat is one of the best sources of protein and is nearly 100% fat-free. So if you want healthy, nutrient-dense, vitamin-packed red meat without the worry of how it got to your plate, visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com and check out their Facebook page. Look for Savannah Ridge Farms at Urbana's Market at the Square on Saturdays. They deliver to Champaign and Vermilion counties, and you can also pick them up at their farm. Visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com for incredibly healthy yak meat. SavannahRidgeFarms.com. Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Carl works every day to improve the health of community members across the region, and it would not be possible without team members like Dwayne Linton, a nationally certified nurse in the emergency department at Carl Foundation Hospital.
I work with a team of people who really care about what they do and are very flexible and adaptive in rapidly changing critical situations, and I would trust any of them at any time.
If you're looking for an opportunity to serve your community like Dwayne in a supportive environment, visit carl.org/careers.
An 11-7 loss for the Cardinals to the Angels. They end up getting swept in the 3-game series as the Mercy Cardinals postgame show does continue. Going back through the game with the highlights, starting pitching matchup, Jack Flaherty starting for the Cardinals, and it's on the mound for the Angels. It is Griffin Canning, and it would be the Cardinals who would strike first. Bottom of the first inning, Lars Nootbaar leads the inning off with a base hit with a couple outs. You saw Nootbaar move to second on a ground out, and then Nolan Arenado a walk. So runners on at first and second, 2 outs, and Wilson Contreras at the plate.
The pitch, a swing, and there's a line drive right field, and it goes over the head of Renfroe, all the way to the wall. Here's a runner coming around third. Arenado's going to score. That just sailed over Renfroe, who did not read the ball off the bat well at all. 2-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a bit of a gift from Renfroe because he took a step in and that ball hit over his head and he was never able to recover. If his first step is back, he might make that catch, and this game might look a little bit different even beyond those first 2 runs that the Cardinals score. But the Cardinals do have a 2-0 lead. It doesn't last very long. Top of the second inning, Anthony Rendon leads the inning off with a base hit. Then with 1 out, Taylor Ward singles. So a couple runners on for Matt Thaiss.
1 home run, a swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit center field. Rendon's going to come around to score. On to third, Ward. First and third with 1 out, 2-1 Cardinals.
And then Luis Rengifo would do this.
Now the pitch. A high fly ball, deep right field toward the corner, and that ball is gone. A 3-run homer by Luis Rengifo. Not only did the Angels erase the 2-0 lead, but now they have a 2-run lead.
Yeah, that's been a problem for the Cardinals this year. They have some positivity, they have some momentum, but it seems like so often it's been taken away from them and taken away from them relatively quickly. So the Angels have a 4-2 lead. They would add to that lead in a big way in the third. Shohei Ohtani leads that inning off with a base hit. Then Hunter Renfroe singles. Runners on at first and second for Anthony Rendon, who's hit by a pitch. That loads the bases for Jake Lamb.
There's a swing and a base hit to right field for Jake Lamb, and 1 run's going to score. Everybody had to hold up because that ball was hit softly into the air. A bases loaded single for Lamb, and Jack Flaherty has allowed 4 straight base runners, and the Boo Birds are back out here at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, they were, and they had more to boo about as the inning would continue. Taylor Ward hits a sacrifice fly that scores Hunter Renfroe, and it moves Rendon to third. Next hitter, Matt Thaiss.
First and third, 1 out, and the next pitch is hit into right field. That's a base hit. Another run's going to score. It's bobbled by Nootbaar in right, but he comes up with it and gets it in. And
Luis Rengifo then singles. That puts Lamb at third, Thaiss at second, and that's the end of the day for Jack Flaherty. The trainer went out as well. There was a bit of an injury concern when it came to Flaherty. Jake Woodford comes in. First batter he faces, Brett Phillips.
Brett Phillips at the plate. The first pitch from Flaherty is hit into left field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score, and they're going to hold the next runner, and that runner got a late break. Lamb finally does score, as right on his heels was Thaiss. And so 1 pitch, 1 more run, and it's 8-2 Angels.
And still not done. Next hitter after that is Zach Neto.
The 3-1 delivery is a base hit up the middle by Neto. 1 run scores. Here comes another. And that's going to close the book on Jack Flaherty. And the restless crowd becomes even more so.
Shohei Ohtani ends up walking to reload the bases, but Hunter Renfroe, he grounds into a double play that ends the inning. 6 runs, 7 hits for the Angels in the third, and they have a 10-2 lead. It would stay that way until the 4th inning when the Cardinals make a little bit of noise. Wilson Contreras, it would go to 11-2 in the 4th. Rengifo would have a sacrifice fly that would score Jake Lamb, a 2-hit inning for the Angels' 4th, and then the Cardinals would make that little bit of noise in the bottom of the 4th inning. Wilson Contreras, a ground rule double with 2 outs. Dylan Carlson walks, and it brings up Tommy Edman.
Bowyer swing and a hard hit ball to right field. That's deep, and it's gone. A 3-run home run for Tommy Edman. And there's a big chunk taken out of the lead. A 3-run shot with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Tommy with his 5th home run of the year.
Yeah, that makes it 11-5. The Cardinals would get 2 more runs in the 6th inning. Aaron Loup pitching for the Angels with 1 out. Dylan Carlson walks. Then he would be replaced on the bases when Tommy Edman reaches on a fielder's choice. Lars Nootbaar gets a single. That puts runners on at first and third for Paul Goldschmidt.
Game here. Goldschmidt lines it right center field. That ball gets down, and it's going to the wall. It scores 1 with Tommy Edman. It scores 2 with Lars Nootbaar on a 2-out triple by Goldie.
But that's as close as the Cardinals would get, losing 11-7 with the win. The Angels go to 18-14 with the loss. The Cardinals drop to 10-22. Winning totals for the Angels, 11 runs, 16 hits, no errors. They leave 7. For the Cardinals, 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. They leave 7. Winning pitcher Canning, he's 2-0. The loss to Flaherty, he drops to 2-4. Home runs in the game, Rengifo hitting his 2nd of the year for the Cardinals. Tommy Edman hitting his 5th. The game lasting 2 hours and 58 minutes, played in front of a crowd of 40,508 folks at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals lose to the Angels 11-7. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
That is the sound of a hit to the gap in left field. That is the sound of the first of 2 runs scoring. And that, over all the other cheering, is Mom. More moments like these happen thanks to Win Reality, a state-of-the-art VR training tool that improves the hitter's timing, pitch selection, and the sweet sound of confidence in the batter's box. We defy reality so you can win reality. Be ready for real at winreality.com.
What's better than a crunchy tortilla taco topped with melty American cheese, shredded lettuce, and our signature taco sauce drizzle? 2 crunchy tortilla tacos with melty American cheese, shredded lettuce, and our signature taco sauce drizzle. Now, what if I told you can have all of that for free? If the Cardinals win today's game, you can get 2 free tacos from Jack in the Box with any refreshing drink purchase tomorrow. It's a win-win.
He made the catch! He made the catch for a Redbird winner!
Everyone's excited about the warmer weather. Let Greenview get it going for you. You want to enjoy your outdoor space, not work in it? Make Greenview your call for all jobs, big or small. Have Greenview plant a tree or garden for that special mother in your life for Mother's Day. And prom is around the corner. Imagine the photos with a Greenview flower bed exploding with color as the background. Greenview wants to help you and your yard. Go to greenview.com for details.
Paxton Hardware and Rental in Paxton, Illinois is your locally owned hardware store, a proud member of the True Value family, and they're here to serve our community. Whether you're a pro or taking on a do-it-yourself home improvement project for the first time, Paxton Hardware and Rental is offering expert advice, tools, equipment, and the products you need to get the job done right. Paxton Hardware and Rental, locally owned on Market Street in downtown Paxton.
Hi, this is Gina from ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want a locally owned family business to help you always be comfortable, who have trained, talented, licensed, and experienced technicians, then call me to schedule an appointment. We'll check your furnace to make sure it'll keep you warm this winter. And just like our name, ABC, you will always be comfortable.
Call Gina today at 217-352-5400 or visit them online at abcheatingandac.com. That's abcheatingandac.com.
Tapman's Towing is looking for you. If you want a career with a great local company, it's Tapman's Towing, paying top dollar for experience. If you have an excellent driving record, good oral and written communication skills, are willing to work hard and want to be paid top dollar, visit tapmanstowing.com. Tapman's is looking for CDL drivers, record drivers, and dispatchers. Work with a local company that rewards hard work. Tapman's Towing. Visit tapmanstowing.com to apply today.
Tapman's Towing.
Veterans.
The Cardinals lose to the Angels 11-7. Time to name our player of the game. We generally try to find a Cardinal when we do this, and there were certainly some individual performances that were all right today. Lars Nootbaar had a nice day at the plate. He goes 4 for 5. Paul Goldschmidt was 2 for 5. Wilson Contreras 2 for 4. Drives in a couple runs, but it's hard to look past Luis Rengifo, who goes 3 for 4 and drives in 4 runs today. So Angels second baseman Luis Rengifo will be our player of the game as the Cardinals lose to the Angels 11-7. Not long ago, Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol met with the media, and the first question that he answered was about the health of Jack Flaherty after he came out in the 3rd inning.
Physically fine. Yeah.
His removal there, that was not for physical reasons.
No, we were going to our pen there. Yeah. Physically, I haven't got a report on the hand, but yeah, we were just going to the pen there.
You obviously needed depth of game from Jack there, but was there consideration of pulling him earlier before it got totally out of hand there?
2 1/3. It's a lot out of your bullpen. So, consideration, yeah. But
what did you see with Jack?
I mean, at the end of the day, fastball command. When he's not able to keep guys honest on both sides of the plate, had to lean on the curveball and the cutter to get through it. But mostly just commanding the fastball. Yeah.
Did you go through the pitch hit spot with Mater in the 6th?
Yeah, in between innings, Gorman, lower back tightness. I didn't pitch hit for him. He had to come out of the game.
Why Mater there instead of DL?
Get Mater. Some at bats were down 6 at that point. I spoke with them right after Gorman said he couldn't go. Down 6, get him in a game. Yeah.
Is there a fear that it's serious with Gorman, or maybe a day-to-day?
I've yet to speak with AO. All I know is it was lower back tightness. I started to grab at him in between innings, and as soon as we're done here, I'll have more of an update on that. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, there's Oliver Marmol, Cardinals manager, speaking with the media. He answered an important question there. A lot of people were batting an eye on why you would pinch hit Taylor Motter for Nolan Gorman in that situation. If it was just a lefty-righty thing, you kind of bat your eye at that. But the report is that Gorman's dealing with a little bit of a lower back issue. So that's an important designation when you look at what would have been maybe considered a peculiar move if Gorman was healthy in that spot. But now we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out how serious that back issue is for Nolan Gorman, a guy who has given you really good at bats so far this year, has been one of your top offensive players. We'll take a break and have more in just a moment. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
Business and IT leaders know meeting their software development needs can be challenging. That's where TDK Technologies can help. They are St. Louis experts who take the time to understand your company's culture and specific needs. Using a thorough and efficient process, TDK Technologies provides highly qualified candidates who are technically strong and a great fit for your team. To enhance your software development capabilities, get started at tdktech.com. TDK Technologies, IT experience delivering business results.
At Discount Tire, we know your time is valuable. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com. Did you know that Discount Tire now sells wiper blades? Stop by for a free air checker tire inspection and ask an associate about wiper blades today. And remember, if ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire.
Let's get you taken care of.
It's time for the annual Cardinal Bus Trip. Hi, it's Stevie J, inviting you to take a trip with us to St. Louis, Missouri for the day. It's July 19th. The Cardinals will be taking on the Miami Marlins, and every seat is in the suite. Yes, we'll have our private suite for Stevie J listeners and Cardinal fans. It's only $225. That includes your bus trip, of course, there and back, all the food and drink you would like, and positioned perfectly in bus parking. Walk in, up the ramp. 207 is the name of our suite. Number 207 along the first base line. Again, July 19th, it's the Cardinal Miami game in St. Louis, Missouri. The game starts after 1 o'clock. We'll leave at 8 in the morning and be back hopefully by about 6. If you're interested in this year's trip, text in BUS 217-359-2255 for all of the information. That's 217-359-2255. Text in BUS.
Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling, a valued member of the community for 2 generations, is proud to announce that applications are being accepted for commercial drivers, merchandisers, warehouse associates, plus a website and social media intern. Full-time positions include major medical, dental, a 401k and vacation time, along with sick time and paid holidays. To view all openings and to apply, go to PepsiColaCU.com. Then under the More header, click Employment Opportunities. Equal Opportunity Employer.
together. By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
(11-7), Cardinals lose to the Angels. They get swept in the 3-game series. The Mercy Cardinals post-game show rolls on here on the Cardinals Radio Network. Do want to remind you that you can double down with Metallica for 2 nights at the Dome, November 3rd and 5th. The M72 World Tour No Repeat Weekend features 2 different set lists and opening acts. For double the fun, visit ExploreSt.Louis.com. Scores from around baseball inside of the division. The Pirates get swept by the Rays. Today's game a little closer. They lose in Tampa by a 3-2 score. Vince Velasquez goes 3 innings, allows 1 run on 2 hits before he had to come out of the game. Zach Eflin was really good for the Rays, went 7 shutout innings, giving up just 3 hits. He is now 4-0. Cubs lose in our nation's capital to the Nationals. 4-3 was the final. Jameson Taillon, just coming back from being injured, goes 3 innings, allows 3 runs on 3 hits. In progress right now, the Brewers are leading in Colorado over the Rockies 4-0. That game is through 6. Wade Miley on the mound for Milwaukee. 6 shutout innings, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Across the Cardinals minor league system, 1 game in progress. AAA Memphis matched up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a 9-5 lead, but some notable things have happened for Memphis. Mason Wynn has gone 2 for 2. He has hit a triple in that game. They've also gotten home runs from Ivan Herrera and Oscar Mercado, but it has been a tough day in terms of the pitching for the Cardinals, for the Redbirds, I should say. They're down 9-5. Later on, AA Springfield at home against Arkansas, High A Peoria at home against Wisconsin, and Low A Palm Beach at home against Daytona. In our game, the Cardinals lose to the Angels 11-7. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Have you been injured in an accident? Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you more. We are America's largest injury law firm, and that means more than 800 lawyers, more offices nationwide, and more than $15 billion recovered for our clients. You deserve more, and we at Morgan & Morgan are ready to fight for more. Don't wait. Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com right now for an office near you.
Today's culture tells women that when they are unexpectedly pregnant, that they won't be able to do it, that they are failures, that it isn't the right time, or that it's going to be hard. Since when do we give up when life gets tough? Help Vitae Foundation use their research-based pro-woman approach to reach and empower women. Let's change the culture together and show her how strong and successful she really is. For more information, visit adsforlife.org. That's adsforlife.org.
Looking to eat healthier and buy locally? Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois has been expanding their yak herd for nearly 2 years, offering local farm-to-table meat containing absolutely no antibiotics, no hormones, or steroids. Savannah Ridge Farms is raising 100% all-natural yaks that feed on organic grass and hay in chemical-free open land. Yak meat is one of the best sources of protein and is nearly 100% fat-free. So if you want healthy, nutrient-dense, vitamin-packed red meat without the worry of how it got to your plate, visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com and check out their Facebook page. Look for Savannah Ridge Farms at Urbana's Market at the Square on Saturdays. They deliver to Champaign and Vermilion counties, and you can also pick them up at their farm. Visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com for incredibly healthy yak meat. SavannahRidgeFarms.com.
The new iPhone 14 Pro is here with the most advanced iPhone display ever, and the place to get it is at T-Mobile. Now you can take your iPhone beyond with coverage that goes beyond.
You're really having fun over there. Have you been streaming Ted Lasso this whole time?
Yeah, I got the new iPhone 14 Pro at T-Mobile, and Apple TV Plus is included with our plan. It has an amazing display, so all the shows look fantastic.
Nice, but we're almost to the airport. You better download the rest of it.
No need. T-Mobile's got me covered with unlimited in-flight Wi-Fi, so I can stream all flight long. I'm catching up on the morning show next.
I'm going to make a quick stop.
Wait, where are we going?
I'm going to T-Mobile.
Switch to T-Mobile and get the new iPhone 14 Pro on us with eligible trade-in on the Magenta Max plan. With nationwide coverage and Apple TV Plus included, take your iPhone experience beyond with T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits plus tax for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling service to continue remaining bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement is due. Apple TV Plus on us up to $4.99 value. In-flight Wi-Fi on select U.S. airlines were available. See T-Mobile.com for details.
(11-7) as the Cardinals come up short against the Angels today. Continuing on with the Mercy Cardinals post-game show. Cardinals certainly are struggling right now. Up next, they've got a series against Detroit. More on that in just a moment. But first, let's get to our saves leaderboard. It's brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. Hasn't changed since we did this yesterday. 2 pitchers with 10 saves each. Cleveland's Emmanuel Clase and San Diego's Josh Hader. And then 2 closers with 9 saves each in Toronto's Jordan Romano and Pittsburgh's David Bednar. That is our saves leaderboard, brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and if you're a Missourian, we're for you. The Cardinals now get set to open up a series against Detroit as they will welcome in the Tigers for a 3-game weekend series that will begin tomorrow evening. Pitching matchup tomorrow. Lefty Jordan Montgomery will go for the Cardinals. He's 2-4 with a 3.34 ERA. It's a battle of left-handers as Matthew Boyd makes the start for Detroit. He is 1-2 with a 5.47 ERA. 7:15 first pitch tomorrow night. That means our coverage across the Cardinals radio network will begin at 6:20. For the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, along with Ricky Horton and Mike Claiborne, for on-site engineer Jim Jackson and studio engineer Tyler Rosen, my name's Matt Pauley, thanking you for being tuned in to the broadcast today. Cardinals lose by an 11-7 score to the Angels. They get swept in the 3-game series, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for more Cardinals baseball across the Cardinals radio network.
Kind of understand the pitcher thing. I kind of get that. But like with the runner,
yeah.
You hit a bad ball, and he did something showboaty in the field that pleased the audience. Who cares? Like, how is that disrespect? Did the runner even? He didn't look at the runner in a side way. He didn't gesture anything. He didn't even make a cocky remark. Nothing. And nothing disrespectful at all.
Well, okay. All right. You're putting me in the position to try to explain the other side, not align myself with it, but explain the other side. So if you are that runner, you are now on social media as the guy that Wander Franco took like an extra, like, I don't want to say like a cartwheel. It's the equivalent to like,
that's not,
you know what I mean? Like it's taking extra time, unnecessary time to throw you out because he knew he's got it like that and you don't as a speed threat, right? You live on in infamy now as kind of getting crossed up, kind of getting whatever it is in the, I'm trying to think of an equivalent for other sports. Okay, I'm telling you what other.
No, I understand. I'm saying I'm voicing my frustration and you just happen to be the only other person with a microphone. So what I'm telling you, it's so stupid to be hung up on that. Like that is so dumb. Had he even, yet still, I'd probably still defend Wander Franco.
Right.
But had he gestured or mouthed something or even laughed, fine. None of which happened.
Yes.
He legitimately just did something slightly showboaty to me that was very entertaining and awesome. And the end.
I'm here for all of it. Like I want Franco to be able to do it, and then I want pitchers to be able to throw behind him and be like, knock that you-know-what off. Like I want pitchers to be able to police it. Don't go hitting anybody. Throw a warning pitch now and again. And pitchers should be able to have fun too. Like I'm here for all of it. I want the bad blood. I want there to be, ill will. I want there to be, dugout warnings. I want there to be benches clearing. Like I want drama. I want all of it. So yeah, talk your talk. Show your swag, all of it, but understand that there could also be consequences to it. I love that for baseball. It's Canty and Carlin, ESPN Radio.
Progressive Insurance protects people's cars, homes, and other vehicles. But if you've ever seen our commercials or even just heard our name, you probably already knew that. What you may not know is that we support Humble Design, a nonprofit that furnishes homes for families and veterans emerging from homelessness. Because a little help goes a long way. And a lot of help, well, you get the idea. Now, if you already knew all of this about Progressive Insurance, we're impressed. We'll have to find something else cool to tell you next time. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Yo, 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 what's up, party people? I'm Julie Foudy. And I'm Lena Ozawi. We host the ESPN podcast Laughter Permitted, where we have candid chats with trailblazing women in sports and beyond.
We've talked with goats like Billie Jean King, Simone Biles, Mia Hamm, Sue Bird, Candace Parker, Michaela Schifrin, just to name a few.
So grab a donut or 500 and check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And a huge shout out to our presenting sponsor, Ally, who has supported us since day one. It's Laughter Permitted.
Coming up Friday, we'll recap all the playoff action and get you ready for 76ers and Celtics and Nuggets and Suns. Keyshawn J. Willimax, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Who has become your Travis Pro? I think A.T. Perry could be pretty good. There we go.
Listen to the College Game Day podcast with Reese Davis and Pete Thamel, wherever you listen to podcasts.
The social reactions are in. This Friday, the biggest event of the summer arrives. Guardians is laugh out loud funny. Exactly, you idiots! Oh no. The perfect conclusion of the Guardians trilogy. That is delightful. It's the best Marvel movie since Endgame.
Let's give the galaxy one more show.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters this Friday.
Tonight on ESPN Radio.
Steph's got it. He's double-teamed. Draymond now pull three for the tie. No good.
LeBron James and the Lakers steal home court advantage away from the Warriors with a huge Game 1 win in San Francisco. How will Golden State respond? Game 2 of the Lakers and Warriors, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
How are you? My name is Scott Van Pelt, host of SV Pod, along with my partner in crime, Stanford Steve. What do we talk about mostly on the podcast, Steve?
Sports.
Some.
Parenting.
I feel like that comes up a lot. I feel like most recently I've needed some help because I feel like my shortcomings there are evident. It's life stuff, relatable content.
It's fun.
It's just two bald-headed goons just talking about nonsense a lot in a crowded podcast space. There's that one.
We're here.
Here we are.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Jason Fitz.
Lamar Jackson spoke to the media today for the first time since signing his massive contract. Now, I understand why everybody wants answers. What changed after the trade request? The answer to that is probably somewhere in market value and negotiation. But also, do you think you're going to get a real answer in this situation? I understand why the question has to be asked, but I always use these analogies of real life with your friends. If you got a friend that absolutely said, I'm done with her, I'm never going to see her again, I don't want her in my life at all, and then a couple of months later he shows up at your big party, she's with him, that's probably not the time that you turn around and say, oh, whoa, thought you were moving on. Like, at this point, the Ravens and Lamar have to make sure of one thing today, that they build a new foundation of trust in a relationship that moves forward. A lot of us may presume that trust was broken in the past based on the way the negotiations went. I'm not. I'm also looking at all of this saying it is fair and reasonable to look at both sides and say whatever happened before doesn't matter. All they need to worry about is the right now. In 60 seconds, why there's one other take that people need to reconsider with Lamar.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Visit BetterHelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/score.
I understand that Lamar wanted a certain guaranteed amount, according to most reports. And according to most of those reports, he didn't get that. That's also contract 101. We're making it sound like negotiations aren't done this way all the time. And I'm not just talking about in sports. I'm talking about in life. If you've ever been a contract employee, a salaried employee that's on a contract, there are times that you presume your value is going to be something. I've gone through it in music. I've gone through it in broadcasting. Sometimes you're shocked when the first offer comes in and it's way higher than you ever could have imagined. Sometimes also, though, you're shocked when the first offer comes in and it's lower than you ever expect. It happens to professionals that are new to their business and professionals that have been there for a long time all the time. This wasn't something wild or spectacular or miraculously different. This was just a standard contract negotiation done in a very loud way. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat from Fitz and Harry, I'm Jason Fitz.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Lamar Jackson's new contract that makes him the highest paid player in NFL history becoming official today. Jackson signing his new deal also met with the media in Baltimore. Jackson did request to be traded from the Ravens back in March, but shared today that he never really had a desire to depart from Baltimore.
To be honest with you, I really didn't care for other teams, really. I just really wanted to get something down here. I wanted to be here. It was like, man, okay, other teams cool, but I want to be a Raven. Like, I said something 2018, I think it was April 26th, if I'm not mistaken. And I meant that, I'm standing on that until I get it done.
And Lamar Jackson's deal sets league records with a $72.5 million signing bonus and an average of $52 million per season. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting today. Giants and Dexter Lawrence agreeing on a 4-year contract worth $90 million. The deal makes Lawrence the third highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. Game 2, Lakers and Warriors, Western Conference semifinals tonight in San Francisco. NBA Countdown at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN TV. Coverage at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN radio affiliates.
Springtime hiring sprees call for Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
If you having take problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but Chris ain't one. Hit me.
This is Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio. You can also listen to the show on the ESPN app, your smart speaker, and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Two-pointer by LeBron. Good. Lakers with their biggest lead of the night. 14 points. 112-98. Here is D'Angelo Russell to the rim. Puts it up and in. Lakers by 2. The Lakers get what they came for. Game 1 and seize home court against the Warriors team that has not been good on the road this year.
We were able to get one in game 1, but like I said, we haven't done anything.
Oh, this music. This music's going to carry us to 7 o'clock, Randy. Let's do it. It's Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. Shay Cornett, Randy Scott filling in for the guys here this evening. And thanks to 710 of ESPN LA for that highlight. Yeah, the Lakers, they took game 1, but Warriors got a chance at redemption tonight in Game 2. Lucky for us, Chris Carlin, host of this very show right here, Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio, with us now for a couple of minutes. Before we dive into Lakers-Warriors coming our way in a couple of hours, let's start with the Star Wars thing, because today is May the 4th be with you, Canty. And that noise has been happening for the last 2 hours. And you, I believe, asked, did something happen that's been happening this afternoon, that noise. And it's making me want to slightly throw up in my mouth. So here's the question. This is my pop culture blind spot. I have not seen a Star Wars movie, Star Trek. I don't know the difference. I don't know the characters. I don't know what that noise is. What's your pop culture blind spot, Mr. Carlin?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm a mid-level Star Wars fan. I've seen all of them except for the prequels, like the 3 that came out after the first 3. Boy, my pop culture blind spot.
He's so well-rounded, Randy, he can't even think of one.
No, that's not it at all. I mean, the whole thing's a blind spot. Truth be told, my music knowledge should be a whole lot better than it is. It's okay, but it should be a whole lot better. I'm the guy that when I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's who does that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's me.
And working at ESPN Radio, you have these like bump-in songs, like they always play like the hits, when we're coming back from break or whatever. And I'm always like whispering to like Jordan or whoever I'm hosting, like, who is this? Who is that?
Yeah.
Candy's always singing them.
Yeah, exactly. So. He's like, Candy, take it away. No idea who that is. Okay, so we found we found Billboard Top 100, not your thing. No problem. No big deal.
Is it all Jersey though, Carlin? Like, are you Asbury Park? Are you Jovi, like the whole thing, or?
No, I mean, listen, you have to know Springsteen and Bon Jovi if you're from Jersey like me, but it's more like, I don't know, like the 2010s. I should know a whole lot better than I do.
That's fair.
That's where the blind spot would be.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. All right, you want to talk sports now? Or you want to keep going? We could keep going with music. Why not Whitney in the Jersey thing, though? Can we add her into it? Isn't she?
Is she Jersey?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yes.
Thought she was from Texas.
One time.
All right. Lakers Warriors is tonight, Mr. Carlin. Number one, Lakers looked really good. Anthony Davis really good in Game 1. Is it sustainable for Game 2, though?
I think it's sustainable. To me, it's about them continuing to just focus on him. He is the way that the Lakers win. If you look at how he has performed through the postseason so far, and even the second half of the year when things were going so much better for them, it's because he's on the court. And that's what's so different about this Lakers team is that Anthony Davis has to be the best player on the Lakers for them to win consistently. And it's not a knock on LeBron. It's just that's what it is. If he is having games like the other night, they are going to be just fine in the end. And the other thing, too, is his defensive, just the presence. The Warriors shot somewhere in the neighborhood of 40% inside the lane the other night in the paint. And, that's just because of his presence. And that, to me, is a major, major factor. I think it's sustainable. I don't know if the 40-plus minutes is sustainable for, back-to-back, or not, one day off type games, but I absolutely think the performance is sustainable.
Yeah, they did shoot 40% in the paint, and by the way, that is the worst of all the remaining teams in the playoffs. The way that they shot in the paint, the Warriors. So we'll see if we can actually get that done tonight. Go ahead, Randy. Sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, and you touched on it there, Carlin. Like 44 minutes is the not sustainable part for a guy who seems to just grab Laker Nation by the throat every time he falls. He falls harder. He takes the longest to get up, grimaces the most, and who knows how one little thing can lead to something else. And I just want to read, just looking at his game log, he's an EKG machine when it comes to productivity. It's up one day, it's down the next. It's 22 points, then it's 13, then it's 31, then it's 12, then it's 31 again, then it's 16. What level of, baseline consistency do they have to have from him? I agree that he has to be the way, but can they rely on him to be that version, that Game 1 version, instead of the up and down stock market that we saw against Memphis?
It doesn't have to be 30. It's got to be 25. I think it's got to be 25 and 12.
Okay.
If he's that, I think they're in good shape. The other thing too is because of that defensive presence that we just talked about, it helps them be a little bit better defensively out on the perimeter, and we know that's the way that you have to beat the Warriors is to be able to defend them a little bit outside. Not just, look, nobody's going to shut it down altogether, but I do think the pace helps the Warriors if they can get it up and down the floor, but it also has to be not consistently fouling Davis too. So that's a problem. It's a major mismatch in this series, and whether it's Draymond, Kevon Looney, as good as he's been with rebounding in this series, he has not, or in this postseason, he has not been terribly good defending Anthony Davis. That's a bad mismatch for them.
No doubt about it. So we'll see what happens tonight between Lakers and Warriors. And keep in mind, too, for the Lakers and for Anthony Davis, they play every other night in this series. It's not like the Knicks who are getting extended rest and the Heat who are getting extended rest. Anthony Davis does not have that luxury on his side. Okay, so who you got, Carlin, tonight? Lakers or Warriors? Who takes Game 2?
I think the Warriors will even the series up. I mean, if you ask Canty as a Laker fan, the series is over.
Yo, I'm sure. Of course it is. Why even play the next few games?
Well, just stay home, and honestly, you could play the series on NBA 2K. Do something like that. This is. I expect this to be a 6-7 game series. I do, and I'm still not giving in on the Warriors. The one thing that was amazing to me is how much the betting odds changed after game one. Prior to game one, it was minus 155. The Warriors were the favorite. And then after game one, the Lakers were minus 165. So that was a major swing. Mm-hmm. And yes, it's one game. But there are things to be alarmed at if you're the Warriors. I do think they will play much better tonight. And I do think we have to factor in that the Lakers had an extra 2 days off, extra day and a half off roughly, than the Warriors did. So these are not two teams that, are terribly young. So they both need their rest, as they say.
All right, he is Chris Carlin, host of Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio. She is Shay Cornett. I'm Randy Scott. We're filling in for the guys. I want to get to the Eastern Conference, the game 2 that we saw between the Sixers and the Celtics. If you had told, Sixer Nation here that they get Joel Embiid back and Jason Tatum goes for 7 points, they're thinking they're going back to Philly up 2-0. How was it so lopsided in Boston's favor, considering the MVP, returned from his knee injury?
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. You knew that they were going to be super motivated in that game. And this is the way it usually goes. I give Jay Will a lot of credit because he saw this even before the news that Embiid was coming back. He expected last night to be a blowout in favor of the Celtics, and I think a lot of it has to do with that home team that is the favorite in the series getting shocked in game one, and it's almost like getting the paddles to the chest, so to speak. And they came to life in game 2. That was just more energy. And there's also a letdown in energy if you're the Sixers. Yes, Embiid is back out there, but he is just finding his way. He is still rusty. We had Vince Carter on this morning when I was filling in for Greeny, and he said, look, and I'm with him on this, the idea that you're thinking you want to continue to rest Embiid until the weekend, you need to get the cobwebs out now. And the fact that they lost last night as badly as they did, it still counts as one loss. So I think there was always going to be a letdown in energy after you win game one. It took a lot to win game one, and I think you saw the Celtics play the way they did. The Sixers, to me, will have a major home court advantage here. And if the Celtics get out of Philly at 2-2, then I think they've got a realistic chance to win the series. I do think that the Sixers are going to end up winning this series, and I do think they're going to get these 2 in Philly.
So a few things. I heard Vince Carter say that this morning. I was listening to you guys, and I agree with him. But I'm also like, this is a veteran player in Embiid. Yeah, okay. He's banged up. He's been banged up a lot. Like, does he really need to get the cobwebs out in a playoff series? Like, does he really need that kind of added motivation? He also just won the MVP. I agree with you, Carlin. He's going to have obviously a huge home court advantage, not only because it's the playoffs and it's Philadelphia, but also because of that. Like, they're going to be even more juiced to see him play. And so when Vince said that to you, Carlin, this morning, I was like, why does he need to get the cobwebs out? Like, why wouldn't you want to just bring him in after winning an MVP, your home court? You obviously had some good thing going with Harden being the guy. I kind of disagreed with that statement. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens here going forward. All right, how about the Celtics? Shooting from the way they did last night, forget Jason Tatum. Obviously, he wasn't even a factor anyways, but shooting from the perimeter, is that even sustainable?
No. Not at that level. Not at that level. I mean, look, I expect these games to be highly competitive. I don't think we're going to be facing those kind of performances. It's an aberration kind of night. And it's not that they're not that good, but you always get role players who are going to play better at home. Jaylen Brown was obviously terrific. He's much better. He's the 1A to his 1, and one of those two guys is going to play well. You have to expect that to be the case. So I don't think it's sustainable at that kind of level. Listen, if you're the Celtics, let's not try to find out if we can win with Jason Tatum playing like that
No
the rest
joke.
of the series.
No joke.
All right, Chris, I want to get to this Sauce Gardner sound. I know you've heard it, and we've all seen Aaron Rodgers enjoying the perks of being a New York athlete here. I mean,
he's like, I ain't in Green Bay anymore. Look at me in the Big Apple.
Now, I don't know about the wisdom of having, Aaron Rodgers supporting your squad in an elimination game. His own record in those games, not very strong, and maybe he bit the Rangers. I don't know. But Aaron Rodgers has enjoyed it. I said it, so nobody else has to. But he had Sauce Gardner alongside him, and the age difference in this between these two guys is considerable. And here's Sauce on being made fun of by the elder Rodgers for a celebrity there courtside that Sauce didn't recognize.
I got to meet a few movie stars. I got to meet Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Tracy Morgan, but he was just picking on me a little bit for being young. We was getting seated, and he was like, "We're about to sit by Jessica Alba," and I'm just like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know who that is," and he just looked at me. He looked at me like I'm crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just great, just being able to sit over there, and I got to meet her, one of her friends who was from Detroit, actually. It was great vibes. But that whole night, he'd just keep asking me out of nowhere. He's like, "Do you know who that person is?" And I'm like, "Bro, that's Amari Stoudemire. I know who that is." Like, now you're just picking on me at this point.
All right, so Sauce Gardner didn't recognize Jessica Alba, and now Jessica Alba has tweeted a response. All right, saying, I totally see how this kid Sauce got his name. He said to my girl, the one that Sauce references from Detroit, quote, "How can I get caught up when I'm the catch?" And then there's a cry laughing emoji. But in all honesty, he was actually very polite with his elder, Aaron Rodgers, and everyone else in the room. It was nice meeting you. Now, is this an unforgivable thing to not know who Jessica Alba is if you're Sauce Gardner?
Well, here's the problem. I've been thinking about this a lot today. Diana Rossini and I talked about this morning. The problem is us. The problem is us.
What?
Yes, because we forget that he's 21, 22. She's 42. She's closer to us than she is to him. He didn't grow up watching her movies. As Diana said, he has no idea what honey is.
Oh, man.
I mean,
Don't break my heart.
20 years age difference.
This is the problem. It's about us feeling much older as a result of this situation. So, yes, it's alarming, but, by the way, used the exact same line. That's how I got married. It was a tremendous line that he used.
Oh, how can I get caught up?
Yeah, if I'm the catch. Yeah, tremendous.
That's
absolutely
great.
Tremendous.
You guys are all aligned. We're talking to Chris Carlin, host of Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio. This very show, in fact, that Randy Scott and myself, Shay Cornett, filling in for here. So back to the May the 4th be with you really quick, Carlin, before we say goodbye to you. So you said you're a medium Star Wars guy. So do you celebrate the May the 4th by watching a Star Wars movie tonight? I just need to know the level you're at here.
I would call myself non-practicing.
Okay, I see. So we don't actually watch the movie tonight.
Non-observant.
Got it.
If a Star Wars movie is on, I am not going to turn it off.
Okay.
I am that level of fan, and absolutely. I've seen all the last, I guess the first three, and then the three that just came out the last few years.
Non-practicing May the 4th be with you Star Wars guy. Got it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's great.
There is no try.
There is no try. See, you know it, though, almost through osmosis. Like, I know it probably from Family Guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't have
That's the only Star Wars you've seen is the Family Guy episode?
I think that's it, yeah. And then Spaceballs. I saw Spaceballs, and I could piece together the rest.
Just considering who we work for, maybe you want to study up a little bit.
I celebrate it.
We talked about that. We already cleared that. Don't worry. We said we should probably get to know things a little bit because I'm really far behind here. I need to really brush up on my. So do you want to know my pop culture blind spot is I've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
You've never seen Shawshank?
No. Does that?
I didn't see it until like 10 years ago. So I'm okay there with you.
Well, that's still a decade, but
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. I had not, up until 2 years ago, had never seen a Godfather movie.
Yeah, that's bad.
Except Godfather 3.
Oh, the worst one. What?
Yes.
Godfather 3 never happened.
Here's the problem. Saw that in the theater. Oh my God.
So then you had to go rewatch the other two? Is that how that worked? You went reverse on Godfather?
20 years later.
That's what's the David Spade joke? I wanted to see it, but I was sick that weekend. Like, because it was in and out of the theaters. So I've seen every, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep.
Of course.
I've seen those. I've never seen any of the Back to the Futures, any of the Indiana Joneses, or any of the Star Wars. When you're the oldest of a multi-kid family, you have to see the movie that fits the youngest kid, right? You're brought down to the lowest common denominator. So anything that was too scary or too violent or whatever, like I missed out on it.
Whatever lets you sleep at night.
And he's like he hasn't had 20 years since then to catch up on this movie.
Shawshank.
It's fine. I know.
All right.
Okay. All right, Carlin, thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Enjoy the game tonight. Bye. That's Chris Carlin. Again, you can hear him right here on this show. It's Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and SiriusXM Channel 80. All right, so again, tonight we got game 2 between the Lakers and the Warriors. It should be a good one. Let's revisit this really quick, Randy, just before we go to break here, because we've been talking obviously a lot about Anthony Davis and can he repeat what he has done, in game 1. And I think Carlin made a really good point here, and we were talking to him, like, these are not necessarily two teams that are young, which you and I talked about earlier, but also the fact that obviously the Lakers had a little bit more rest than the Warriors do because they didn't have to go 7 games in their initial series. And so maybe this is a game where they feel like now everyone's got their feet on a feel-out game, if you will, even though these two teams have played each other a lot. Like game 1, maybe a little bit of a feel-out game. And so here come the Warriors, and they'll figure out how to get things done in game 2. I will say this. We also talked about the shooting performance in the paint. I mean, the Warriors lost that game, and they're shooting poorly in the paint. They also had a plus 14 on field goal attempts, plus 45 points from the three-point line. They committed only 8 turnovers. And again, they still lost the game. Like, they played a very good game.
Yeah.
For them still to lose. So I feel like their backs up are they're up against the wall a little bit tonight.
Yeah, they played the kind of game they wanted. They made the Lakers play a brand of Warriors basketball, and the Lakers just did it better and forced Golden State to kind of play, catch from behind and force Jordan Poole into a shot 7 seconds on the clock that he shouldn't have been the one taking. Like, I think if you're Golden State, you can more accurately and more consistently duplicate your performance from game 1. I don't know that the Lakers can. I don't know that they have someone who's going to be able to check Steph. I don't know they're going to get a down game from Clay again like that. So many things had to go right for LA. Like, that was their ceiling. So now, they have home court. We know the road woes for Golden State, sure. But Kevon Looney is going to continue to rebound at the clip he is rebounding at. And like I said, Anthony Davis has been a roller coaster. Like, he's either at 30 points plus or he's in the teens, Shay. Yeah. It's not, and we heard Carlin say it, like his sort of Mendoza line or the magic number for Anthony Davis with regard to the Lakers winning in Carlin's eyes is about 25 points. And I don't think he gets there in game 2 if any of the other postseason games have been any indication.
And so obviously you're talking about the Memphis series, and I will say, like, game 3 he was great, game 4 he was bad, but game 5. I'm just looking at it now. He had 31 points and 19 boards. Great, but he followed that up with 16 points, which was huge. Still a dip in his minutes, in his scoring per minutes, but at least the back end of that series, he did follow it up in decent back-to-back games. We'll see what happens tonight. Should be a good one between the Lakers and the Warriors. Warriors trying to even out the series. Lakers looking to go up 2-0. Coming up, we'll go back to football because Lamar Jackson, as we know, signed a historic contract with the Ravens. He actually spoke today. But now the question is, who's next? Does Joe Burrow get a contract before the season starts? Because he's got to be next, or maybe it's Justin Herbert. We'll talk about it next. Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio.
Your morning start with KJ and Max.
I went to a game and I went down on the field. They were running toward me. Felt like horses was on a racetrack.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
And I said to myself, I had to be really stupid to play this game.
It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use Closet Box instead? Closet Box is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. Closet Box's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. Closet Box's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. Closet Box has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code Radio50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
The quest to crown a champion begins at the SEC softball tournament.
This is the best postseason conference tournament in the entire country. You're just not going to see better competition in this winner-go-home scenario.
The 2023 SEC softball tournament begins Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern on SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Show 'em what I'm made of.
The road to the ACC softball championship is on ACC Network.
Over the wall and gone!
A team that doesn't give up. Live from South Bend, Indiana.
They get ready to play for a title.
The 2023 ACC softball championship presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
The ACC champions.
Begins Wednesday at 1 Eastern on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app.
We're gonna strike gold.
Tonight on ESPN Radio.
Steph's got it. He's double-teamed. Draymond now pull three for the tie. No good.
LeBron James and the Lakers steal home court advantage away from the Warriors with a huge Game 1 win in San Francisco. How will Golden State respond? Game 2 of the Lakers and Warriors, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 288, Saturday.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling defends his title against former 2-division champion Henry Cejudo as he makes his anticipated return to the octagon.
This is an amazing fight.
UFC 288, Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Buy it on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
The reality is it couldn't be going better. You couldn't ask him to be doing this better than he's doing. He showed up way earlier than anyone expected. He's on the field throwing with guys. He's taking teammates. He's hanging out at the Garden. He's, basking in the emotion, in the glow, in the love that the city is giving him. He could own this town, and he knows it. If you're going to own a city, to own New York, I can't imagine there's anything better in sports. Owning New York is unlike anything, and he's got a chance. You hear that ovation he got at the Ranger game? Holy smoke, the second it clicked to him, you just hear everyone. It takes a second, and then you realize who it is, and then boom. Like Rodgers, he can own this city, and I think he feels it, and I think he wants it. I think he's in every way that we worried he might not be.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
I thought the Texans in the first round hit a massive home run. Don't talk to me at all about what they gave up for the future. I don't give a damn. I think they are desperately trying to actually rebuild the culture. And they played chess with this whole process. By taking C.J. Stroud at 2, they undercut the trade value at 3. It was a brilliant move. And C.J. Stroud's going to go somewhere where I think they're going to give him the time to develop. I really like C.J. Stroud with Houston.
Fitz and Harry. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Hi, I'm Myron Metcalf, host of the podcast ESPN Daily. Every weekday morning, I'll bring you the best sports story you'll hear all day. Today on ESPN Daily, Mike Carpenter tells us what it was like to travel to Guadalajara, Mexico, with boxing star Canelo Alvarez, and what makes fighting in his hometown this weekend so important. So follow us and listen wherever you get good podcasts.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-587-5063. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-587-5063 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-587-5063 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-587-5063.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Visit BetterHelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/score.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Deal reported on last week. Deal official today. Lamar Jackson has signed his new contract that now makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. Jackson at today's news conference in Baltimore said he wants to throw for over 6,000 yards with the weapons the Ravens now have. For the first time in a long time, Jackson will now be able to focus on playing football, says ESPN Radio's Harry Douglas.
No shame in Lamar Jackson for what he may have thought. But now they're to a point now where both sides were able to reach a deal. Now he can move forward and focus on the game of football, right? There's no more dark cloud worried about, are the Baltimore Ravens going to pay me? Am I going to have a contract? Do I have to go out here on the franchise tag? Should I stay true to my principles? There's no more of that. They're at the point now where they can just move on and he can play football.
Harry Douglas today on Fitz and Harry. Jackson's new deal includes no franchise tag, no trade clauses, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Giants and All-Pro defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence agreeing on a 4-year extension worth up to $90 million. That from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Today in St. Pete, Zach Eflin struck out 10 over 7 scoreless innings. Rays beat the Pirates 3-2. Rays have now won 3 in a row and 6 of 7.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Lamar Jackson has spoken for the first time since he got his new deal.
Today, we're going to keep it about the future. You know, I'm not really worried about what happened in the past. We're going to keep it about these next 5 years and keep it about what's going on today. That's all I'm focused on right now.
Canty Carlin on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, and presented by Progressive Insurance. My voice does not sound like Canty or Carlin because I am not either one of those people. Shay Cornett, Randy Scott here with you for the next few hours, filling in for the guys. I'm going to assume, because this is what we're doing, that music is from Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. If you are, and that's how I know for certain it is from Star Wars. Is that annoying thing? That's our pop culture blind spot. Me and Randy's. What's yours? Do you not watch Star Wars? Is there something everyone talks about? You're like, haven't seen it, don't know it, haven't heard it. Give us a call. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. The news, though, pop culturally and sportsy, does that make sense? In the world right now, Lamar Jackson, he signs a monster contract with the Ravens. It's all official. We've gone back and forth, obviously, on this for a lot of months, betting on himself, perhaps throwing out a trade situation. None of it worked out that way. Instead, he will stay put with the Ravens. And so he signed a 5-year, $260 million deal. It became official today. There's NFL records in terms of signing bonus, a 3-year cash flow, an average per season. All of that is historic and at a new level. So he did it today, spoke to the media today for the first time afterwards. But now, as we always do here, Randy, in sports, is now we look ahead. What does this mean? What does this mean for the pressure on Lamar Jackson? And what does it mean for the guys who are next? In my opinion, I think the next guy that's going to get this big kind of contract is going to be Joe Burrow. In fact, I think bravo to the Ravens for getting this done before Joe Burrow signs his deal. They basically had to rename the stadium in Cincinnati to get enough money to pay Joe Burrow. Give him whatever he wants. This guy, and I feel close to this because, Randy, my husband's from Cincinnati. He's a diehard Bengals fan. So I've been to a Bengals game. I've been around that stadium, and to see what it was and what it now is because of that guy, because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I'll give him credit for this too. You can't go anywhere in Cincinnati without seeing someone in one of these two jerseys.
Yeah.
They have, I don't need to talk about what they've done for the franchise in terms of winning percentage. And they used to be called the Bungles. Like, literally, they used to call them the Bungles. And now we can't even make that joke anymore. And so I think Joe Burrow is going to break the bank. He's going to one up this deal that Lamar Jackson got it, and I just hope it comes before the season starts. And in fact, I do think it happens before. I think you have to.
Okay, I think you have to as well. I don't think it's going to get done though. Cincinnati notoriously, alligator armed when it comes to reaching for the check, right? Like we all have that friend where you're out, and a lot of times they're the one that's like, oh yeah, make mine a double. Oh yeah, I want to add a lobster tail on the side of whatever it is. And then they come time and they want to split everything equally when that bill comes. Or, oh man, hey, can you get me this time because, I'll Venmo you, I'll hit you up, whatever it is. That's the Cincinnati Bengals, not only in that division, but in the National Football League. Like they are notorious for not paying their guys, and even then only doing so begrudgingly. I actually think Justin Herbert's going to get a deal before Burrow does. And it's because of the Los Angeles little brother syndrome that the Chargers have. Like they have to lock in someone who is a generational quarterback talent, and I'm saying that objectively. Like I'm a Raider fan, I want to root against him, but I fear him 2 Sundays every season. I do, and I think that the Chargers get this deal done because the precedent has been set. I mean, Jalen Hurts had the title for most lucrative NFL quarterback contract, right? The average annual value, I think, is how they got it. He had that for 9 days, and then Lamar takes it. The longer you wait, the more it costs you. And I see the Chargers swooping in while the price is, comparatively, contextually low.
Here's the problem I have with this, though, with the Justin Herbert situation. And look, he's helped that Chargers franchise, yes. They've yet to win a playoff game. In fact, they lose in embarrassing fashion. You're going to be mad at me for this, Randy, and I don't mean to pick on Justin Herbert, but I have like a whole stat situation here about how bad he's been over the last 2 years. He hasn't been good. He's 27th in touchdown rate against the blitz. He's worse than Taylor Heineke. In terms of passing in the pocket, there are 4 names ranking ahead of him. Their names: Darnold, Ryan, Mayfield, Brady, washed up Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Matty Ryan, and Sam Darnold. Like he hasn't shown me enough to prove that he's at the same level of Joe Burrow. And what are they keeping up with? They're keeping up with the Rams, who were in the gutter this year. Like, what are we talking about? Well, I just don't think the Chargers have done enough. And part of that's on the coaching staff. I think a lot of that also goes to the coaching staff and things being ill. Like we talk about how the Cowboys are mismanaged sometimes. The Chargers are brutally mismanaged. There have been some issues in the last 2 minutes of game. But Justin Herbert, to me, has not proven that he's that dude.
Okay, so they're possibly going to let Austin Eckler walk or trade him because they don't want to pay him. And maybe that's to free up money to lock in Justin Herbert. I don't know. But eventually you reach this point. You brought it up with Lamar Jackson with regard to his cap hit coming up in the 26-27 season. You said it's more than $70 million.
Yeah, it's astronomical.
It's prohibitive to building a competitive roster around you. At some point, if a quarterback wants this pay, and God bless every single one of them for getting their bag. The market pays what the market pays. How much is your house worth? It is worth what someone will pay for it. That is what these quarterbacks are getting out there and getting. But then you cannot cash that check while also bemoaning the fact that you don't have the offensive weapons that you feel like you need to succeed. The two are increasingly becoming mutually exclusive of each other with the way these cap structures are built and the way these contracts are backloaded to where these are borderline poison pills at the back ends of these contracts. Because again, to your point about Lamar, like who's to say what's going to happen in the interim? So with the way he plays and the age he'll be at in that season, it feels like an irresponsible deal. Justin Herbert doesn't play that way. Justin Herbert, I didn't know that about his pocket passing stats, but I know
terrible. They're terrible.
Well, in a division where Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere, if you can't bring a knife to a gunfight here. Like you have to have a quarterback who can sling it with him.
He's had a lot of talent around him. Now Chargers have also been bit by that injury bug bad.
Yes.
I'll admit that. But I mean, who's not? Everyone in the National Football League, when push comes to shove, is to me like. I can do this because we're talking a lot of NBA playoffs. Jimmy Butler, when the lights are brightest, how clutch the game is, he's better. That's the kind of player you want. Justin Herbert, I'm sorry, in the last 2 minutes of games, in the postseason, when the game is on the line, he crumbles. Like that's when he falls apart. I can't have that if that's my quarterback. And Burrow's the complete opposite.
Burrow's rock steady. Burrow played with one good knee. And put up great numbers.
And didn't even have a whole rookie season.
No, and then in the year after that, he takes you to a Super Bowl. Like he's already shown you what he's capable of. But I would put his wide receiver talent over 12 to 13 games of Keenan Allen because he has James Harden's hamstrings and Mike Williams. Mike Williams is guaranteed to miss 3 or 4 games. You know what I mean? Like they're soft.
Right, they're a bit. Yeah.
Whoever handles soft tissue injuries out there must just lie awake at night, wide eyed.
But they had a better offensive line, but also a little bit injured.
And better coaching. Zach Taylor is a better offensive mind than Brandon Staley.
Would you have ever said that, though, in the beginning? He's proven that over the last few years.
You're right. You're right. Not in the beginning. So I think it also, you have to factor in the ownership. You have to factor in the front office. And you have to factor in this increasing, which must be just a sense of dread for the people cashing these checks and negotiating these contracts, because it is not getting any cheaper. It is only going to get more expensive.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see. So Randy thinks it's going to be Justin Herbert. I think it's going to be Joe Burrow. One of these two dudes is going to get paid, and immediately Lamar Jackson will no longer be the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League with the most guaranteed money. I could guarantee that. This is Candy and Carlin on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Shea Cornette and one Randy Scott here filling in for the guys. One Randy Scott who has an appointment immediately following this show. Is it to go watch the game tonight? No. It is with a psychic. We'll dive in next. Stay here, ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and the NBA playoffs have perhaps never been this compelling, and we're the place to talk about them every morning. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN. With a few simple clicks, NordVPN will block online trackers, secure your devices from malware-infected downloads, and block access to malicious websites. With NordVPN, enjoy internet without trackers, without malicious websites, without malware-ridden files. Be more cyber zen. Take advantage of our special offer now at NordVPN.com.
Union Pacific Railroad wants you to join its team. It's an opportunity that comes with great pay and benefits. There are a variety of open roles across its 23-state network, including train crew positions, with hiring and relocation incentives of up to $50,000 in some locations. You can even get a free college education while working. Union Pacific Railroad connects hundreds of communities, hauling goods Americans rely on every day. Get your career on the right track with Union Pacific and apply today at up.jobs/sports. That's up.jobs/sports.
Hey, it's Greeny, and the NBA playoffs have perhaps never been this compelling, and we're the place to talk about them every morning. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 288, Saturday.
This is the moment you
Bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling defends his title against former 2-division champion Henry Cejudo as he makes his anticipated return to the octagon.
This is an amazing fight.
UFC 288, Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Buy it on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
Coming up Friday, we'll recap all the playoff action and get you ready for 76ers and Celtics and Nuggets and Suns. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
The Dodgers versus the Padres is Major League Baseball's hottest rivalry. It's star-powered. It's intense. It's an NL West showdown. That ball is out. The rest is history. Give us Sunday Night Baseball. Dodgers, Padres. Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Presented by Casamigos Tequila.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
Titans GM Rand Carthon joining us.
There were rumors out there that you guys would probably be looking to trade Derrick Henry. How does that work into your plans?
So all those things that came out about Derrick and all those things, it didn't come from inside our building. When these things come up, if it's not from Mike, myself, or Amy, then it's probably not worth looking into.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Saturday on ESPN Radio.
The wall gone! A blast from Rizzo.
It's a showdown in the AL East when the New York Yankees head to the Trop to face the first-place Tampa Bay Rays.
Liner out there again, and Arozarena pokes it to right field, and it's gone! Unbelievable!
The Yankees at the Rays. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on your smart speaker.
As the Stanley Cup playoffs continue on ESPN, anything is possible. So the decorations could get a little out of hand. And a city could get a new landmark. Could a kraken arise? Could the storm surge? Could it happen for the first time? Could it happen again? Yeah, that could happen. That is playoff hockey. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue on ESPN.
Tonight on ESPN Radio.
Steph's got it. He's double-teamed. Draymond now pull three for the tie. No good.
LeBron James and the Lakers steal home court advantage away from the Warriors with a huge Game 1 win in San Francisco. How will Golden State respond? Game 2 of the Lakers and Warriors, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
How are you? My name's Scott Van Pelt, host of SV Pod, along with my partner in crime, Stanford Steve. What do we talk about mostly on the podcast, Steve?
Sports.
Some.
Parenting.
I feel like that comes up a lot. I feel like most recently I've needed some help because I feel like my shortcomings there are evident. It's life stuff, relatable content.
It's fun.
It's just two bald-headed goons just talking about nonsense a lot in a crowded podcast space. There's that one.
We're here.
Here we are.
The social reactions are in. This Friday, the biggest event of the summer arrives. Guardians is Laugh Out Loud Funny. Exactly, you idiots!
Oh, no.
The perfect conclusion of the Guardians trilogy.
That is delightful.
It's the best Marvel movie since Endgame.
Let's give the galaxy one more show.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters this Friday.
The Mina Kimes Show, featuring Lenny.
With Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, we saw kind of a few different versions of Rodgers. It'll be interesting to me to see what it looks like with Nathaniel Hackett in New York, with Garrett Wilson. Okay, offensive line. There's no doubt in my mind that it will be better than what we saw last year, but I think there's reasonable questions just of how much better it'll be and what it will look like.
Listen and subscribe to The Mina Kimes Show, featuring Lenny, wherever you listen to podcasts.
May the 4th be with you for all you Star Wars lovers out there. I got to be honest. We've been doing this show. We've been doing this show for a few hours now. I didn't know Star Wars had this many tracks. I mean, the tracks, they keep coming.
I'm learning. I'm learning.
Randy and I are learning all about Star Wars today because we are not Star Wars buffs. This is our pop culture blind spot. What is yours? It's Candy and Carlin on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. That's the phone number. Do you have a pop culture blind spot? Is it Star Wars? Let us know. Give us a call. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Also, the thing we were talking about before this, big day for Lamar Jackson today. I have no idea if he's do you think I doubted he's a Star Wars fan. Doesn't seem like a Star Wars guy.
Maybe not. Maybe Mandalorian, though. Maybe Boba Fett. You know, some of the Disney Plus stuff.
Maybe Mandalorian. Yeah,
Yeah.
Totally. This is why we get our paycheck signed. Maybe a few Disney Plus things, right? But Lamar Jackson, he signed his big contract today, historic contract, spoke to the media today, all signed on the dotted line. So now naturally we spin it forward. Who will be the next quarterback that will sign a major contract and immediately make him feel like he is not, and he will not be, the highest paid quarterback and player in the NFL? Will it be Justin Herbert? Will it be Joe Burrow? I don't know. But Joseph's in New Jersey and has a comment on it. Joseph, what do you think? Who do you think's the next guy to get the big contract like Lamar Jackson did today?
Totally agree with you guys that it's Burrow, but I'm really calling. I'm so happy to hear your opinion on Justin Herbert. I could not agree more. I'm wondering who or when he's going to make somebody or some team better. He has weapons that most NFL teams would die for in Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler, one of the best receiving running backs in the league year after year. And I don't get, and I understand they're in the division with Mahomes and the Chiefs, but they should be much better and getting better results than they do season after season that he's there. And I think they're stuck with him. I think that's the way they got to stay and go with, but it just seems like he needs pristine conditions in order to take that team further than it's been since he got there.
Joseph, I couldn't agree more. Thank you for hammering my point home. Let me just take this a step further. Randy, you join in too here.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Justin Herbert going on the road and having to play at, Lambeau doesn't have the same effect now that Aaron Rodgers isn't there anymore, but having to go on the road and play somewhere like Chicago, I'll use that, like Chicago in the cold? Can you even imagine?
I mean, he's played, I'm sure, at a cold Arrowhead at this point in his career. And
a chilly, not in the postseason he has.
Not in the postseason.
Not when it matters. No, he has not.
That's fair. That is a fair point. But he's beaten the Chiefs.
You've riled me up.
I understand.
You've riled me up.
I like
Justin Herbert chatter.
I'm here for it.
Craig's in Michigan. Craig, what do you got? What do you think about these quarterback contracts?
Well, first of all, I've never seen Star Wars or any of what was the other one you said?
Star Trek.
No, you didn't say it. But I haven't seen. Well, I've seen Star Trek, but I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not against seeing either one of them. I just haven't seen them. But as far as the contracts go, I understand why people get enamored about the humongous contracts. But what I'm wondering is, and it is possible because we've seen it happen before, when's one of these guys going to lay back in the weeds, let everybody else get their teams more hamstrung salary cap wise, and then just take a lesser deal so they can add more talent and go win more championships? And we've seen Brady do it. So, I mean, it's possible. Maybe not likely, but I think that eventually somebody's going to make that decision.
Yeah, Craig, thanks for the call. I think that actually is a really interesting conversation because if you think, Brady's done it. That's what first comes to mind, Randy.
Yeah.
But think about even Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson wasn't on a monster contract when he won the Super Bowl. That's why they had such a loaded roster, because they didn't have to pay him a ton of money when he won his Super Bowl as well. Like, it's a concept that's worth thinking about. You take less money, you have more superstars on your roster that you can pay, you win a chip, or at least you become uber relevant, let's just say that. Or better yet, win a Super Bowl, and then you can make more money down the road. It is a concept maybe worth thinking about.
It is. It's the ultimate bet on you. Well, it's bet on yourself, right? And that is easy for us to say when we don't play a violent game, no matter how protective of NFL quarterbacks the rules are, and when a 9-figure contract is sitting in your inbox.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, there is that threat. There's the threat of, I could blow out my ACL walking the dog tomorrow. I could slip and fall down the stairs. I could pull a Dustin Johnson, whatever it is. I could do something catastrophic to my future when this contract is sitting here just waiting for my signature on it.
Agree with you. Quickly, before we go to break,
Yes.
we have some breaking news that we're going to get to after the break. This I teased, so we need to know. The psychic coming up.
Yeah. So it's on the recommendation of a family friend. I come into it with an open-mindedness. I believe in this sort of thing. I am, though, a little skeptical because you can learn details about my life just on social media. I'm a pretty open book. So, but the ultimate thing is it's a psychic medium. And so I lost my mom. Oh, man, it's been more than 6 years now. So there are so many things that she's missed. There's so many opinions of hers that I would love her insight on, direction, things like that. And I don't know. It really worked for a very close family friend to be able to communicate with her parents who have passed, and I'd love for that opportunity.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping
back.
for. Yeah. But it's literally like right after the show.
No, people, we get off the air at 7 Eastern. He's on the air with the psychic at 7 Eastern. So it's literally right after the show. So he's got to prep for it in the breaks, which we're going to take right now. It's Shay Cornett and Randy Scott filling in for the guys here on Canty and Carlin. Breaking news, a Woj bomb, if you will, coming up.
Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge. Now let's see what your dog has to say.
As a dog, I think Progressive's auto pet policy is... Oh, what is that? That's just Mateo. Weird. Anyway, Progressive protects... There it is again. See? This is why I need protection. I'm so distracted. Nope, that is still Mateo.
Progressive Auto Insurance covers pets for up to $1,000 in a car accident at no extra charge. And we think your dog would say that's great, too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
O'Reilly. Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you pick up a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon Premium Blades can help you see better and drive safer. And our professional parts people will install them for you for free. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
And Arthur Smith, Falcons head coach Bijan Robinson, what did you guys love about the player to make him the pick?
We're so excited to get Bijan in our program. I mean, he's made of all the right characteristics we look for. And then obviously he's a phenomenal football player. And he's a lot more than just a running back. He's an explosive guy with the ball in his hands and just another piece with that'll fit in here because we've got a lot of versatile players, skill players on our offense.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Sunday.
Be in Miami, the best city in the world.
ESPN presents the next stop on F1's epic world tour.
This is the biggest event in the world right now.
The vibe is amazing. The fans here are the best.
As the rock stars of racing take their talents to South Beach.
Let's keep it up.
Yes, let's go. The Formula1Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. ESPN coverage presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Mike Greenberg.
Cam, who we got today first up?
We got Joe in Kansas.
So I am in Kansas City. I'm actually just a few blocks from stage where the draft will take place.
Oh,
so
nice.
We look forward to
So why
welcoming
did Cam
you.
say you were from Kansas? If he said, I'm from Kansas City, did you then say, okay, he's from Kansas?
No, I did know that. Bubba took the call, wrote it on the screen. I just read it.
I've been there many
times. Joe talk.
I'm well aware. What do you mean many times? How many times have you been to Kansas City, Missouri?
Been to Kansas like 5 times.
Why have you been to Kansas 5 times?
Don't worry about why I go to Kansas.
Where were you in Lawrence? Where in Kansas were you?
I got things cooking up over there.
He's visiting the set of Wizard of Oz.
Cam, who's next?
Matt in Michigan, unless Bubba got it wrong again.
Yeah, Matt, where in Michigan are you?
West Michigan, Grand Haven.
Fair enough. So Bubba seems to have gotten that one right. All right, Matt, what is your...
Congratulations, Bubba.
Thanks, Matt.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
The Dodgers versus the Padres is Major League Baseball's hottest rivalry. It's star-powered. It's intense. It's an NL West showdown.
I have no idea. You can't
That's all it's air.
The rest is history.
Give us Sunday Night Baseball. Dodgers, Padres. Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Presented by Casamigos Tequila.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
You like boiled hot dogs?
Why not just throw it on the frying pan or in a toaster oven or something even, you know?
You know the way boiled hot dogs look, though? All the grease or whatever it was.
Used to do weird stuff like
to
that.
The top.
Yeah.
My mom fed me boiled hot dogs and top ramen. I tell my mom, you should be thrown in jail for that. Come on, man.
GJ and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
You just want Joel Embiid to trend in the right direction, get his conditioning back very quickly, and get his aggressiveness back. Right? Like you take multiple weeks off from the game and you try to come back and find your rhythm. It's challenging for anybody, Key. Look, the 76ers are still live in this whole thing, but I will tell you, last night I said that I felt like the Boston Celtics had an identity crisis. That is who Boston is. That's who Boston needs to be all the time. The aggressive, physical-natured team that applies pressure and inserts their will defensively. Like, that's who Marcus Smart needs to be. That's who Jaylen Brown needs to be. Jason Tatum doesn't need to be 1 of 7 from the field. But still, they impose their will and their style on the 76ers. That was a good step for the Celtics last night as well.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the best Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braylon, Brayden.
Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals.
Hey, sweetie, are you hungry?
She needs more early childhood educators.
Did your socks slip off again?
And a nap.
Hey there, little guy. Okay. Shh. Whoa.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.